It's a bit of a different type of video we're filming today, but I just kind of felt called to film it because I was thinking about it and I was talking out loud, but I realized I need to film a video, and I've been thinking about filming a video, and I wanted to film a video about this topic. I just I wasn't sure I was ready to do so in such a way, so now I'm gonna film this video whether I feel I am educated enough to bring a message through or not. I just want to kind of talk about my experience and what I'm going through right now. And since this is what I'm going through right now, I'm going to talk about it with you guys. Alright, so I think it was like 4 days ago. I was doing this thing that I never thought I'd do, and I have this tendency to people please when it comes to people. And so I put myself through a lot of things, and because of that, I would like consistently cater to this person's wants and needs, and that's fine. But consistent of it kind of just, I mean, I was doing it when it hurt me still, and I felt like I wasn't doing or in the right place where I needed to be, but yet I was still like continuously doing this thing, right? And then when it ended, right, the relationship ended, and it was pretty short, and I was just like, dang. And I just remember what was all that work, just asking myself that. And then I was in this sudden place where I was like, who am I? What am I? What am I called to do? What am I supposed to be doing right now? Because this clearly isn't it, and I have no idea. I just felt like full of so many questions and things I didn't know how to answer for myself, like, and there's no one I knew who could possibly give me these answers besides him, you know. So I was searching for something, and then I remember this one time I went into this game, and it was a friend of a friend, so just kind of acquaintance, a loose acquaintance or a loose friend. And I asked him, I feel like this hurts. It hurts every time I see this person. It hurts, and I'm confused. I don't know what to do. My life is really confusing right now at this moment. And I remember he said to me, call upon the kingdom. But that was just a thing that really like made me feel like I was exactly where I needed to be. But more than that, right before that, I was searching, and then I was like, I actually, funny enough, I know it's an AI bot, but I went and talked to like the psychiatrist on Character CI, and I said, I feel this strange feeling. It's like, go back to Christianity. And I know it's weird, and I know I like rejected it for so long or whatever. And the bot said, it said, if you're being called to go back to it, maybe it's worth exploring. Maybe it's worth going back to see why you feel called to go there. And so I did, and I just felt so touched, and like I was in the right place at the right time where I needed to be exactly, which was crazy because suddenly the things that didn't make sense made slightly more sense to me, right? I found this church on YouTube called Life Church. I'll put the link in the description to their channel if you're interested. But I saw this guy, he was talking about if you're lost, you can be found. That's what he said, and I was just like, I feel lost right now. That is exactly how I feel. And I remember the words he said were so easy to resonate with, and it helped that he had like his own personal stories, or stories from real people, testimonies from them. And that was probably, I'd say, the first time that I saw like somebody talking about God on YouTube and really resonating with it myself. As for like preachers, because my brother was trying to get me into this one church guy who was like talking about like all these things and all these things, but I could just never find myself getting into what exactly he was talking about or his energy in specific. But Life Church really did just, it touched the exact part that I needed it to touch. And there was this recently I watched this guest pastor they had. I forgot her name. She was talking and she said, "Oh, you're welcoming." She talked about how a lady welcomed her in her rich, expensive house and didn't allow her to come in and do the things that would, make her feel at home. She was like, "Oh, you're saying to the God when you're saying to God when you are saying, oh, no, 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 I have this certain entertainment choice. Don't touch that." So when that lady told her, "Don't step on my carpet, but you're welcome here," she pulled the comforters off her bed and said, "Oh, but make yourself at home." She meant it there theoretically, and that stuck with me because I was like, there's some things that like I do and things that I feel that I'm like, oh, I want you to come into my home, Lord. I want you to be in my heart. I want you to teach me what's wrong. I want you to give me strength, right? And then just the same, I could be like, oh, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to lose this. I don't want to stop doing this habit, or I don't know how to do this. And that's essentially what I got. And it's just, I looked at that and I saw that in myself and I was like, I don't want to do that anymore, right? I don't want to keep telling God that, oh, I want you in my house. I want you to teach me to be better. But simultaneously, I'm telling you, oh, don't touch this. This is like a really good habit I do. Like, oh, maybe I maybe I do drugs or something. And I don't want you to mess with that. But I think to really truly be open, you have to be open and allow him to touch even the parts that you're not even sure you want to be touched. But it's a time process, and I think just finding him and finding all that, everything just seems so much better. Like even just being outside, it's hot, it's like 90 degrees, I'm wearing a sweater. I should take this off, and I will soon. But I'm just like, even being outside, I found like praise songs, and just the sun feels so much better to me. Like the heat, the warmth, just being in nature. I'm just seeing all these things. Like there's flowers right behind me. There's this tree behind me. I'm just like, he created all of this, and I'm here right now to experience it, and it's beautiful. I'm truly amazed by all of it. Another thing I'd like to bring up is the fact that I've really been reading the Bible recently, and I've gotten like this King James app on my phone that I got from the App Store, and the first verse in the first chapter I decided to dive into was Isaiah, because I consistently heard his name. And in the first chapter, I think it's chapter 1 of book Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 17, and it says that essentially you should seek judgment, plead for the widow, judge the fatherless, and I think it says something else, but I can't remember what it is. And it's just off the rip, when it says judge the fatherless, the first golden key item you think is, oh, judge the people without debt. That's not what it is. Judge the fatherless means to judge people without God. But I don't think that's what it is. I don't think we're judging the people themselves. Instead, we're judging their actions. But I'm really just trying to figure out what that verse means, because that's the first verse I read, and it just amazed me. I heard it, I read it, and I was enamored. Is that the correct word to say it? I was drawn to it. I felt something to it. I want to know the meaning of what exactly that means. We're pleading for the widow. We're seeking judgment, which is interesting. What type of judgment are we seeking? It's just that got me. That really did get me. There was this other thing. I started reading Genesis, and I got through the first 2 chapters of Genesis. I'm on chapter 3 of Genesis, and I was reading chapter 2 of Genesis. And I think towards the end, it says something about Adam and Eve, and she was made, from his bone, his rib in specific. And there was this part at the end. It was like he laid with his wife, and they were both naked, but they weren't ashamed. And I was like, there was no part in it that said they had a marriage ceremony or anything like that. So that just really makes me wonder, what is marriage in essence, and what does it all mean? Yeah, it's just confusing in the best way. It's interestingly confusing, because like, whoa. Whoa, they were both naked but weren't ashamed of it. But we all know, if not we all know, but I believe there's this part when it says, there's this part that comes in Genesis. I just know because I've been told it many times. My grandfather was a pastor, and my dad was the pastor's kid, and he did a lot of things in the church since they owned the church. And so, you know, really I've heard many stories about it all. And so we all know that there's this part of the Bible where Adam and Eve hide behind this bush when called out by God, and they're hiding and they're ashamed. So it's just the fact that they were unashamed. Like, what does that all mean for how we live life now to this day? They were husband and wife in some way, because at the end he said he laid with his wife. They were both naked. They weren't ashamed. So it's just like, what exactly does that mean, and how does that play a part in the way we live our lives today in this modern world with all the things that's going on? Like, whoa, I'm sorry, there's a blue jay in the tree. But yes, it's got me thinking, and I've just been consistently thinking about things like that, things and words of the Bible and chapters, and hearing other people's messages, and really thinking and reflecting on my own life, and like, oh, would God want me to make this decision? Would he want me to be here? Doing this to myself also impacts other people. Would he want me to do this to myself? Is this the right thing? Is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Reflecting on that, doing that has really changed a lot in so little time. Like, so little days have passed by since, but I feel like I've already grown some form of understanding that's different than in the past. Like, it's crazy. I have some newfound understanding that I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I remember I made this one prayer. I said, I want you to come into my life, Lord. I want you to show me. I want you to show me who I am, where I'm supposed to be, I want you to show me what you want me to do. Help me find a way to praise you. Help me glorify you. Help me show what it is you want me to show. I want to be the type of follower that you'd be proud of. I want to live and be in your image as I was created, right? So it's just like that, and I really just feel like, though I said I didn't know or don't know what it is exactly that I am, or what I'm supposed to be doing, I asked him for it, and I said, I'm just gonna let him handle it. I'm gonna stop asking myself consistently, what is this, what is that, what is that. I'm just gonna let him handle it. And it's just, ever since then, I've felt like so free, in a sense that I'm not consistently worried about these things. I'm letting them happen, letting things flow, and I just feel like such a happier and better person for that. And yeah, it's just, that's what I wanted to share. If any of that touched you, please let me know down in the comments. You can like this video if you want. You can subscribe. I have tons of other content, but I'm also planning on doing like this whole transformation type of makeup video that I think would be a little bit fun. Trying to do a 4th of July video. I'm trying to do a lot of other video idea plans that I got in my Google Doc. If you have any video ideas, please let them know, let them down. And if you have anything, please just share it along, pass it along. Thank you for watching this video. Peace and love, everyone. I was about to forget, but I want to close it out properly. Peace and love. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for another video. There will be another video, and I'll see you another day. Bye. You saw the best in me whenever you weren't around me. Could only see the worst in me.